Welcome to the third-party news for Retro Robot Radio for the date of July 19th, 2014. Hi there, and this week we're going to take a look at some products. First is from Ark Studio. We have a test shot and some prototype images of their Legend-size Sideswipe toy. This Sideswipe toy looks to be very much close down to the Generation 1 model, only with more articulation than the Generation 1 toy, and only at Legend size. You can see here it stacks up pretty well with Spy Changers and Legends. It's about twice the size of a smallest Transformers character. And it'll come with, looks like, a lot of accessories. You got pile drivers, missile launchers, a G2 style machine gun. Here's a look at the, looks like a prototype version. It has several ball joints, and then it looks like it has in the arms and the hips there. Dr. Wu has shown off the box art images of its Rambo upgrade for the Generation 2 Masterpiece Sideswipe. The art is done by Spike Art, of course. I thought I'd throw these in here. The DX9 Salmore figure is finally being released, and someone posted some images of it compared to the original GoBot Cykill. Here it is in vehicle mode, and here it is in robot mode. Also, we got our first images of the alt mode of DX9's Wreck-Gar figure, who is called Splinter. And I'm a hero, so I'm guessing that's a little animated reference there. KFC's Central Barbosa should be shipping any day now. The final product images have been appearing online. Here's a look at it in alt mode in a store. And here's the promotional picture of it. Also, here's a little piece of the box art that I was able to find online. I noticed that this promotional image they've been throwing around actually has the hook and the harpoon on the wrong hands. I'm thinking they're probably just plug-in, so that means you could probably swap them around. This is a story that came out of several Chinese auctions. People are taking pre-orders now on an oversized copy of the Masterpiece Grimlock figure. This figure is more scaled to go with the Gigapower version of Snarl that's been being advertised lately. And it's in scale with the MP10 Optimus Prime instead of being tiny like the MP09 Grimlock. You can see it comes with the sword, the rifle, and the crown accessory. It looks like it's measuring 29 to 30 centimeters tall. And here's some pictures of the alt mode. You can see they're still working on some of the clear plastic and covering the screw holes. And there's the bit that will be clear plastic later. Mecha Form have been showing off renders of their Dinobot-inspired lines. That's including their version of Sludge, Snarl, and Swoop. These figures are going to end up having, I think they told me Sludge is going to have a sword, even though it's not rendered yet. And you can see that they've worked to add in ankle tilts and missile launchers where they didn't exist before, but other than that, they're very much enlarged and slightly improved versions of the Generation 1 toys. Here's a picture of the alt mode of their Sludge figure called Gunk. And there he is in robot mode, showing off some of the articulation. There he is without his weapons. With weapons, rear view. Here's the Sneer figure, who's their version of Snarl. You can see he mounts the rifle on the side of the dinosaur mode, so you can keep your weapon storage going even in alt mode. And here's their version of Swoop. And as you can see, the arms fold up into the body really nicely. And it might have some different options for the head, or they haven't decided on it yet. Omnigonix have been showing off more renders of their Spin-Out, who's their masterpiece-sized version of Generation 1 Sunstreaker. I'm assuming that if it's successful, we'll get some repaints as Police Sunstreaker, or as Diaclone Sunstreaker, or as Shattered Glass Sunstreaker, or as Dead End. Hey, what the heck. You got a mold, paint it. XSX have shown off their A05 design for KFC EAVI Metal Citizen. That's a replacement head for the Citizen Stack from KFC. You can see in the comparison here, the one on the left is the SXS head, and the one on the right is the normal Citizen Stack head. It has a better face sculpt for Generation 1 accuracy. It has eyeglasses there, the little visors, aviator shades, whatever you want to call them. And it looks like it'll have some light piping. TFC have been showing off their figure called Hydrant, who's their version of Generation 1 Hotspot. You can see how well the ladder expands, and a close-up of the vehicle. We haven't seen much in the way of robot mode photos yet. I think there was one small prototype picture in robot mode from a long time ago. We've still not seen that much of it. And I also wonder, is this going to have a repair bay mode? Because, you know, repair bay mode. It's what they do. Toyworld have shown off some images of their last member of their Throttlebot-inspired set. This includes their... We already knew about their Goldbug and Wide Load figures. You see here, Goldbug's the one in the front, and Wide Load's the one in the middle. The one off to the right, though, is their Freeway figure. So that'll eventually be painted in blue. And they've also shown off some great photos of the Combine mode. Yeah, that's right. It is a Combiner. Looks like there will be some Combiner kibble, because the fists and the feet don't look like they store anywhere in any of the robots, and it's a big-ass gun. It's not a combined version of the other robots' guns or anything like that, so I don't know where those are all going to go when they're not in combined mode. Hopefully they can mount on the sides of the vehicles or something. And here's a look at the robot modes of all 6 together. I'm not sure who's going to get the combiner parts. Is that going to come with Wide Load? It's going to be a huge set, or maybe with Goldbug, but either way, the combiner parts are probably going to be a little extra. Or maybe it'll be a 7th item that's the combiner bits. X2 Toys have shown off the test shots of the new replacement head for Generations Orion Pax. And we've also seen a test shot of their Voltron Lion rifle figure. And some test shot images of their Cloudraker and Fastlane, the Autobot clones. So those are getting closer to production. Still, people are saying they'd really like to see better hip ball joints than the ones we see here. And when I say see them, they're right there. They're huge. What are they thinking with these? Oh well. Anyway, that's our look at the news. Alright, this week as a special, we're going to be looking at all the third-party Dinobots that have come out over the years. And I'm going to start with one of the oldest alternative Dinobots toys to have come out, and that was the Prehistory Animal line that came out back in the 1980s. Yeah, okay, it's basically just a knockoff, but they did remold the toys. So I'm going to start with them. And as you can see, the Prehistory Animals had heavy remolding. They made Snarl look like an alligator with fins on the back. Grimlock had lots of claws and horns. The Slag had deer antlers and a big frilly flower head shield. And Sludge had wings and an alligator mouth himself. So that was pretty darn cool that back in the 80s, someone came up with alternate versions of the Dinobots. Now, one of the first third-party Transformer Dinobots was from a company called Just Toys, and they released a series of smallest Transformers scaled, according to them. Actually, they were more legend-sized Dinobot toys, starting in 2006 with their Desert Warrior Snarl. These originally were supposed to just be called the names of the original Dinobots, but this is one of the first instances of mass production third-party Transformer toys, and they ended up making them having to remove the Autobot symbols, changing the names. It was one of the first times that had to happen. So Snarl became Desert Warrior, Grimlock became Commander. This line had quite a few number of recolors over the years, and they're still making these molds recently. They did black recolors. As you can see here are some of the black recolored Dinobots that they did. They also did G2 colors, clear colors, that sort of thing. Another one of the lines of knockoffs turned kind of cool toys was this company called Zongjin, and they released a bunch of copycat Dinobot toys in the mid to late 2000s, but they included several recolors that were very, very interesting. For instance, here you can see the clear versions of some of the Dinobots they did. They also did ones with gold chrome, which is very fun to see gold chrome. They also did a blue-chested version of Swoop. And they did some pink plastic recolor versions of Sludge and Slag. They did the pink versions. So, yeah, it kind of added a new wrinkle to the old Dinobots mold, but they're essentially just copycats. Now, one of the first legitimate third-party transforming toys of Dinobots to come out was from Planet X. Planet X, of course, does all the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron inspired toys. And their first Dinobot was called Kahless, who was their version of Fall of Cybertron Swoop. And it is scaled to go with the Generations Fall of Cybertron Grimlock toy, and has a whole bunch of other toys in the line planning to come up. For instance, Neptune is next, who is their version of Sludge. And they plan on coming out with a Snarl and a Slag, or as Slug in Fall of Cybertron. Now, this year, we've had quite a few Dinobot toys come out from different companies. Fans Project has their line of Lost Exorealm toys, which are classics Dinobots, updated. Their original one to come out was Columpio, seen here. And Columpio had a TFCon exclusive version that had gold chrome and a Diaclone driver. The retail version will just have gold paint and will have a transforming weapon partner. And they plan on coming out with a whole line of 5 others, which means that they'll be showing off a new character. Here you can see they have their Slag, their Swoop. This looks like Grimlock. This looks like a new character, and finally a Snarl. Fans Toys is another toy company that's come out with one Dinobot so far and plans to do the whole set. We have a Scoria, who is their version of Slag, and that just recently came out as a Masterpiece Dinobot that's scaled to go along with the MP10 Optimus Prime. So they're a little bit bigger than the Grimlock Masterpiece toy, which is undersized, you probably know. And here's a picture of their attempt at Swoop, which will be coming out soon too. One of my favorites is, because I love collecting odd little Chinese curiosity toys, is a set of Scramble City compatible combining Dinobots that came out. These have molds that are, actually checking them out, they're actually variations of the Seacon molds, extremely remolded, and some are completely new, but like for instance Grimlock is actually the Scalor mold, And I think Swoop is a heavily remolded Sea-Wing. But they also come with Junkion Blacksmith's Infinity Warfare weapons and a combiner mode head that's taken right off of Predaking. And I would love to see these guys made out of good quality plastic in G1 colors. Someone should get a hold of that mold and refine it. Another combining Dinobot set that's come out is this one from TFC Toys. TFC Toys, of course, made the toy line that's connected to the Star Rescue Team series out of China. And they had a rescue vehicle set and then this Dinobot set. The Dinobot set is pretty well inspired by the Transformers Dinobots, but they're not supposed to be the actual Dinobots. They're characters from a Chinese TV series. But the guys who designed them had the Dinobots in mind when they designed them and actually planned to have a Generation 1 recolor limited edition set come out. In fact, here's a piece of artwork of the Generation 1 limited edition set. As you can see, that looks a lot more like Grimlock. Another company that hasn't come out with any toys yet, but should soon, is Bullsfire, and they have their version of Swoop called Airstrike. This is scaled with Masterpiece, but it's designed to go along with the Masterpiece Grimlock toy, so it's slightly undersized, or potentially you could put it into a Classics collection as a very large Dinobot. And another company coming out is called Gigapower. They have Masterpiece scales, and they're probably the largest of the Dinobots to be coming out. As you can see here, he's a full head taller than Optimus Prime, easy, and way bigger than the Masterpiece Grimlock. So they'll be releasing their own versions of those toys. Here you can see the concept sketch for Gigapower's Slag figure, and you can see the silhouettes for all the other figures they're coming out with. They'll be making bigger version of Optimus Prime, and of Grimlock and Slag and Sludge and Snarl. Here's a thing I thought I'd throw in here. This was the teaser that from iGear a few years ago, where they said they were going to be coming out with a series of Dinobot toys. And these Dinobots, as far as I know, they've been canceled. But the concept was for them to make Dinobots that were in scale with each other to the size of real dinosaurs. So, for instance, the Sludge character would have been a huge toy, Swoop would have been real small, all the other ones fitting in between, and they would have come out. Unfortunately, iGear canceled the concept. I'm not sure if the guy who was working on them was going to go to somewhere else. Mecha Form is coming out with their Paddle figure first, and Paddle is the 6th Dinobot. You can see he's kind of a remolded version of Sludge, and he'll be turning into actually a prehistoric water reptile, Plesiosaur. And here's some of the other characters. That's their Sludge, their Snarl, and their Swoop figures called, let's see, I think this one here is Sludge is Gunk, and Snarl is Sneer, and so that looks to be interesting. I know that they're still working on the designs for these, trying to finalize the faces, which are incomplete, and adding more weapons. So that should be fun. Also, Toyworld has teased that they will be coming out with Dinobots. They teased that about 1.5 years ago, and nothing has come of it since. They've just been keeping the teaser on their website, though, so who knows? At any moment, Toyworld could just show up with Dinobots. They have been known to just surprise everyone with a toy every now and then. And this one I thought I'd throw in because back in last October, a teaser of a couple images, some renders, and some prototypes of a classic Swoop figure appeared on TFW 2005, but no company has been attached to it yet. But as you can see, it is a working classic Swoop. It's basically the Generation 1 toy with more articulation and a little bit larger. So that's our little look at the Dinobots throughout the years and those that are coming out from third party. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye. This week's screen capture comes from the 2013 sci-fi movie Battle of the Damned. Robots vs. Zombies. What a movie. This week's news brought to you from the pages of tformers.com and TFW 2005. News read by Matthew Ignash. Be sure to check out our YouTube page at Retro Robot Radio and leave a comment. And check out the third-party TF Crashers on Facebook.